I will show you in my short presentation the problem of Poland and new renewables. As you can remember, during the Danish presidency, Poland was the only one country who opposed the idea of climate package of reduction on 80% the emission of greenhouse gases until 250, and to total prohibition to use fossil fuels in energy sector. I will explain you why and show you also the role of the coal in global energy. According to the World Energy Council, total resources of the coal in the world are estimated at 860 billions of tons. 23% of this is brown coal. Carbon resources are available in 70 countries worldwide, mostly in North America, Asia and Pacific, and Europe and Eurasia. The biggest distributors of coal are United States, then China, Russia, India, Australia. European Union is not the main player on the market on the level of South Africa. You can hear for, I don't know, 50 years that the petroleum and natural gas will finish soon, but we still use it. And this is true because we have new technologies to exploit shale gas or petroleum from alternative resources, but for sure black and brown coal will be available for next generation. Black coal for next 200 and brown coal for next 300 years. Of course, the role of the coal in the world energy is changing. 100 years ago, coal was a primary fuel for heating and obtaining energy, and now its role is shrinking. But for 50 years, even the carbon dioxide became the main poison in the world. The coal role is quite stable. What are the sources of primary energy? In the world, coal is almost 30%, then petroleum 35%, and natural gas 24%. In the EU is different. The main source of primary energy is nuclear power, almost 29%, then coal and natural gas. Totally different is in Poland. We are totally dependent of the coal. What are sources of electricity production? In the EU is nuclear energy and the coal on the same level, but if they see at the world, the coal is 41%, then gas and renewable energy and nuclear energy. In Poland, more than 90% of energy, of electricity production is made from coal. As you can see on this chart, we are total carbon junkie like South Africa. But other countries are also very addicted, like China, Australia, Kazakhstan, and some European countries like Czech Republic, Greece, or Germany. And from our position, from position of my country, European climate policy has no sense. But what means decarbonization from our position? When we see at the numbers, I will show you later, Poland globally is not important producer of the coal. Europe is the third largest consumer of coal in the world after China and United States, and we have local resources, mostly located in Poland, but also in United Kingdom and Ireland, but they didn't exploit anymore these resources. We have carbon, black and brown carbon in Germany, Czech Republic, and Romania, and outside the EU in Ukraine. European Union is basing on a local supply of coal, but 1/4 of the coal is already imported. We import the coal mostly from Russia, Indonesia, South Africa, and other different countries. But because of cheap and local resources of coal, Poland is one of the less energy-dependent countries of the European Union. Of course, in the best situation is Denmark, who is only exporter of the energy in Europe. But Polish dependence is more than twice less than European average. Of course, the worst situation is in small islands like Cyprus, Malta, but other countries, Spain, Portugal, Italy, are also very dependent of the import of the energy. Let's see the numbers. Poland is 9th world coal producer in the world, but the biggest is China. Then USA, India, Australia, Indonesia, South Africa, and Russia. So if we compare the production of the coal and consumption of the coal, our production is few times less than Russia, and more and more less than China. So its decarbonization in Europe has no sense regarding production and consumption of the coal in other countries in the world. Different countries in the EU has different interests. And for example, Germany wants to sell to Poland their wind turbines and photovoltaic technologies. Why? Because European market is shrinking. European market of green energy is growing only a few percent yearly. And Poland is a big market, so that's why they, but not only German companies, but also Spanish or Danish companies wants to sell their green technologies into Poland. And they are so desperate now because the biggest country, the biggest market on the world is China. China renewable market technologies is growing 50% yearly. And the biggest companies in the world are from China and India, and probably in a few years they will be installed in Europe. So that's why these companies are so desperate to push European climate energy forward. And if the same is with nuclear, France is based on nuclear power, and they just want to sell us their nuclear power plants technologies. Government of France want to sell us the technologies of the government-owned companies like EDF or Areva. In the Globalization Institute, we are doing every year ranking of the fastest growing economies in the world. This year Germany is in very strong position, but Poland is always in first 30 countries. We are developing very fast. You can see in the long-term growth forecast of Polish GDP, it was made before a financial crisis. It's very optimistic, but anyway, last year we had growth of GDP on the level 4.3%, so it's still a few times more than other European countries. And in this year, it will be few times more than growth of GDP in Germany. So we are developing quite well. So we will need more and more energy to consume. In 250, it will be probably from 350 to 500 terawatt hours from the bottom to the top variant. So we need the rapid development of the economy is related to the increase in production and consumption of industrial materials, increased industry production as well as demand for energy from households, increased energy consumption, therefore increased access to energy resources is an absolute necessity to maintain a constant state of growth. What is realistic? For us, climate package is utopia. We are not able to make green revolution in our country. In the short term, we are able to produce only 10% of energy from renewable resources. Maybe it will be few percent more in next years, but we have no money to make such revolution in Poland. So that's why we defend our position. But if we have a look on the world energy basket 50 years ago and now, and 20 years ago, the level of consumption of the coal is quite on the same level. So the role of the coal is in the world energy sector is quite stable. But the coal is a very sensitive source of energy on the price. If we tax the coal, the price of energy is growing. When we tax the company who are using coal energy, the prices of the products they produce are growing too. But in the long term, if we see the experience of countries who has no so strict climate policy like European Union, let's say the USA, we can see that the coal could be one of the cheapest source of energy in the long term. And according to the future investments on power plants based on coal, like in Germany will spend 70 billion of euro on new power plants, and in the world, China, India, they are also planning new investments. So I think the role of the coal in the world energy sector is quite stable. Thank you.